How many of us here tonight have had to work with a team? Okay, I see a lot of hands in the air. Looks like just about everyone has had to work with a team. Now, how many of you can actually identify your teammates' top 5 strengths? Okay, I see some hands, but not as many as to the previous question. Working in a team is a lot like a treasure hunt. We are given clues, but need to know how to utilize those clues to reach the end result. It is how we apply these clues that push us closer to discovering the treasure, or in our case, revealing how we can work better as a team. So, how can we do that? We must first find out about ourselves and what drives us, what motivates us, and then what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses. Marcus Buckingham once said, "Build on my strength and manage around my weaknesses." What Marcus is saying is that we could be more productive by focusing our attention on what we're good at versus what we're not good at. And there are many resources available to help us achieve our goals. Hi everyone, my name is Kimberly Murphy, and tonight I'm here to discuss with you one of my favorite resources, Strength Finders 2.0, and how we can apply that to our workforce. Tonight, our objectives are to 1. Gain a better understanding of Strength Finders. 2nd, we want to learn how individual strengths cluster into broader strength categories and can contribute to a team. And lastly, we want to discuss how to leverage identified individual and team strengths to transform our performance in the workforce. Strength Finders results are categorized into 4 groups: executing, influencing, relationship building, and strategic thinking. Executing refers to knowing how to make things happen, whereas influencing is the art of selling ideas. Relationship building focuses on bringing people together, whereas strategic thinking is all about analyzing information and focusing on how you can utilize that information in the future. Strengths can actually be taken to the extreme and have a negative effect. If we can identify the negative aspects and balance that with a strength, we can actually end up creating an advantage in the long run. And every strength actually has both a balcony and a basement. The term balcony refers to the best way that a strength can be demonstrated, and the basement refers to the negative ways that a strength can actually come across in the extreme. So, for example, my top 5 strengths are includer, ideation, positivity, competition, and strategic. So when I took a look at my top 5 strengths after taking the test, I actually wasn't surprised after I dug into the meanings of each strength. I always try to include everyone, whether it's in the workplace or it's personally. I just want to make sure that everyone's included. I'm also great with coming up with ideas, but I do need help in executing those ideas. I tend to come up with more ideas than necessary and then have a hard time deciding which idea is the best one to follow. And then I've also been told that I've always tend to be positive, recognize others for their great work, and be optimistic during any situation. Don't get me wrong though, I am very competitive and highly motivated by results, so I like to use my intuition and strategic thinking to seek alternative routes and paths to access the end result. So since my strengths are in strategic thinking, relationship building, and influencing, I tend to work better with someone who is strong in the executing bucket. So knowing my strengths has actually allowed me to collaborate with my counterparts in a different way. For example, one of my counterparts is strong in the executing category, and since I come up with any ideas, I actually turn to her to come up with me and decide which idea is better and which ones are actually unrealistic, so that in the long run, we can actually work together and use both of our strengths to come up with even better ideas and an even better action plan. We can transform our performance in 6 ways. The first step is busting the myth. We can recognize that improving our strengths can help improve areas needing development and drive outstanding performance. The second step is to gain clear insight. And what I mean by this is we can identify on-the-job activities that enhance our strengths. The third step is to free up your strengths. Find the missed opportunities to leverage each strength and make them relevant. The next step is minimizing your weaknesses. We can limit our weaknesses so they don't become a distraction, or we can team up with someone who has had that strength and that is working with us on our team. The fifth step is to create open dialogue. Help your colleagues understand what activities strengthen you and explain ways you're willing to contribute more by utilizing those strengths. And the final step is building strong habits. Look for different activities and experiences to enhance your work based upon your strengths. Importance of knowing your individual and team strengths, our company has taken the initiative to pair management with other managers with opposite strengths in order to gain a different perspective surrounding the business. So far, the program has been so successful that it is now being done on the field sales level. So tonight, I hope you were able to gain a better understanding of strength finders and how to utilize the strengths both individually and in a team setting. The moral of tonight's discussion is how to work smarter versus working harder. The more we get to know about ourselves and our individual strengths, the easier it is to work with others and leverage all of the strengths together, creating strength in numbers.